Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Listen, we all know none of us can stop playing Tears of the Kingdom once we've started, but Hasbro is being really distracting with that D&D price hike, and Insomniac killed it with the new Spider-Man gameplay trailer. That's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your Guild Master Ric Perry, and the human equivalent of a Fluffernutter sandwich.
And I am your Guild Master Baron Kane, NPC in the streets, PC in the sheets.
And joining us for the first time is a new guild member. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Killer Christmas Tree, also known as the Dice Opossum.
Welcome to Casters Guild, and I gotta be honest, because I've spent this whole week, if I'm not at work, I'm only doing one thing, and that's playing Tears of the Kingdom. And I don't know if anybody else is doing the same, but it's pretty fucking awesome.
So I have it. I have the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not started playing it yet.
Okay.
Because my Switch has been disconnected from my TV for a while.
Gotcha.
And I just haven't brought it in me to hook it back up quite yet.
It's not the kind of game you want to play in handheld mode either.
No.
So you're at least a step ahead of me, because I don't even have it.
It's probably a good thing that you haven't started playing it yet, because a good part of my workday is struggling not to play that game. A good part of my workday is struggling to stay working at my desk rather than to get up and go play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to. I mean, like, I got everything. And no one can see at home, obviously, but I have my whole setup right here in front of me. I've got my work computer back here. I work here, watch TV here, and then I just still have my streaming monitor up here. And I still wouldn't be able to just give it my all. There's just no way. I would be too focused on work to give that game the focus it deserves.
Right. Yeah, apparently developers of other AAA titles are still trying to figure out how Nintendo did it. Like, how they pulled that game off.
What do you mean?
There's been a few articles that I've read. I wish I could give you a source, but I didn't link those ones. There are a bunch of AAA developers are saying with the physics engine that exists in Tears of the Kingdom, with the amount of builds that you can create in Tears of the Kingdom, with the amount of items that you can use, with the sheer size of the map, and all these other things that go into Tears of the Kingdom, they can't figure out how Nintendo managed to put a game together that could do all of that and still maintain 30 frames per second and not just break. And of course, speedrunning community and the gaming community in general has done nothing but try to break this game since its release, and they just can't. They just can't break it, even with all of these different moving parts. And a lot of AAA developers they just can't figure out how Nintendo did it, especially to get it to run on the Switch with the amount of power that it has. There are cell phones at this point that have more power than the Nintendo Switch does, and yet Nintendo has this thing running at a solid 30 frames per second. People can complain all they want that it doesn't run at 60 frames per second, and they can just go fuck off, because it's on a Switch, and with everything that it's doing, it's amazing that it's doing what it's doing at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, I've seen there's a video on Twitter that's been circulating of, like, you attach a bridge to a log and then shoot the log and it extends this bridge. And there's all these people who are like, I'm a game developer and I cry for what the companies are going to ask of other game developers as a result of this Zelda game.
I mean, saw the amount of clones that tried to come out of Breath of the Wild. The amount of publishers that tried to get developers to make clones of Breath of the Wild, and nobody really got there. So you can imagine what they're going to ask them to do for Tears of the Kingdom.
Crazy. I think it's funny that a game like this can come out with as powerful as it is on a system like that, and as much as I love the game, we're still getting stuff like Cyberpunk. And you know what I mean? Again, love Cyberpunk to death, but there is like no need for that if they can do that with Legend of Zelda.
I think it all comes down to time. And I think you can even see it within Nintendo's own walls. If you look at Tears of the Kingdom, which we were waiting for 6 or 7 years after Breath of the Wild for Tears of the Kingdom, and nobody understood why it took that long, because it was just an asset reusing sequel. They're like, you already have the world built, you already have all these assets, just pump out the sequel. And they took that long, and this is why. Because this is the product we got. Meanwhile, you've got Pokemon sitting right next door, pumping out games every year, and for lack of a better term, they come out like garbage. I'm still going to buy them. I still have fun with them. But, like, technically, like, and I don't mean technically as in, like, figuratively, I mean technically as in a technical aspect, they are garbage. And it's time. It's the amount of time that they're putting into these games. The Cyberpunk developers practically admitted it themselves that the publishers rushed it out the fucking door. And that's why we got what we got.
Yep, they absolutely did. I think that... I do think it's funny, because I was going to attribute it to it was Nintendo putting it out. But, you know, you just brought it up yourself, you know, Pokemon. Why can't they do the same thing with Pokemon?
Yeah,
so,
I was about to say, as much as I love Scarlet and Violet, my Switch should not sound like a tiny airplane with how bad that game looks.
Yeah.
And you know it comes down to time, because they take that game and they run it on a high-end PC, and that game looks fantastic, Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they didn't have the time to optimize it for the Switch. Because you know you can do it on the Switch. When games like Tears of the Kingdom, games like Xenoblade, all these higher-end games can run on the Switch. They can run Pokemon on the Switch. It's just a matter of taking the time to optimize it. And they just didn't give Pokemon Team, Game Freak, whoever it is that's creating it, they didn't give them the time. And that might be more on Game Freak than it is on Nintendo. I'm not sure how the internals on that one work.
Well, I guess that's true.
So
who knows?
You brought up Cyberpunk, but if we want to talk about AAA games on a system that isn't limited, why is Redfall as bad as it is?
Oh my god, Redfall.
For $70, from the people who made Dishonored, which are beautiful games, it just should not be as bad as it is.
Why is Redfall? It is just an all-around question. There's so many bad things that have come out of Redfall. It's like, why is it as much as it is? People were asking that about Tears of the Kingdom. Now we got our hands on the game, and we're like, oh, that's why it's that expensive. But Redfall, why is it that expensive? Why was it pushed to this particular date? Why anything when it comes to Redfall? Why release that piece of garbage?
My review for the game with my friends, because I was excited, I pre-ordered it on Steam. Like, I didn't even play it for free on Game Pass. I paid the $70. And my review is, if it came out 10 years ago, made by an indie company for $30, people would go, oh, this is a good game. But now, no. It just doesn't live up to what we expect.
Now, pushed as, like, the title that it was and at the price that it is, no. Just no. How many people did that have to go past and for it to greenlight for them to finally just go, yep, just go ahead and release that? Hot garbage.
I keep hearing about it. I've not played it myself.
I have PC Game Pass, so I mean, like, and just the sheer amount of chatter around the game piqued my curiosity enough to give it a click. And I didn't give that game more than 10 minutes of my time before I was like, why? Why is this game?
That's funny. Well, it sucks. It sucks for the people who were really looking forward to that game, or, you know what I mean? It's, I mean, again, you know, I'll bring up Cyberpunk to the end of days. I was anticipating that game since, like, 90... let's just say 1990. I've been anticipating that game since 1990. And I got it, and I got exactly what I wanted. So I didn't get that disappointment level. Maybe the gods were looking out for me on that one. But I can only imagine if I would have had a PS4, me being who I am, waiting for this game to come out, and I'm like, look, I got it, woo! And I tried to play that shit. Oh, my heart would be broken. My faith in the world would be ruined. I would have been pissed.
That was me for quite a while. That game blue screened on me several times. But after playing it on the PS5, with the free PS5 upgrade after getting my PS5, that is great. The amount of things that you can tell that were cut from Cyberpunk is a little disappointing because they had to push it out the door. But hopefully, I can't even say that. I was like, hopefully they'll do better in the sequel, but there's no chance of it getting a sequel at this point, right?
I mean, it depends on how Liberty City Stories goes.
From the backlash, I'd be surprised.
Cyberpunk did a lot of good PR.
That's true.
Did some PR campaigns and really made up for it in patches and updates. And like I said, they are doing a Liberty City Stories, which is not necessarily a sequel. I suspect it's all the shit that they cut out from the game originally.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, if it does good, I bet they'll get a sequel.
I could see that. If it sells well. That's what it all comes down to, is how much money you make.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it was #1 on Steam there for a while.
Yeah, but how many refunds did they have to issue after it was #1 on Steam?
It was #1 on Steam after they did all the patches.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it did horribly at first, and then after they fixed it, that is what... Oh, it was after Edge Runners.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It was after Edge Runners.
Yeah, that bump.
And with as successful as Edge Runners was, and with how successful it became, I would not doubt if we get another sequel, or if we get a sequel.
That might be the perfect storm for a sequel. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, their PR campaign afterwards was spot on.
And as far as the refunds go, if there's a lot of people like me who just play garbage games for the sake of it being garbage, who don't refund it anyway, I feel like only really dedicated people who are like, this is unplayable, would have refunded it. Because I didn't even...
Refunding through Steam has become more commonplace since around 2020. I think the past 4 or 5 years, it's become much more commonplace. You read articles about how people are demanding refunds for this game, and not just Steam. Like, it happened with Scarlet and Violet too, with Nintendo's online store. Like, people demanding refunds for Scarlet and Violet. It happened a lot with Jedi Survivor recently. A bunch of people, yeah, a bunch of people.
Oh, that's right. I heard there was
for the PC version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dang, that sucks.
I mean,
I'm still gonna play it, but
yeah,
I crawl through the dumpster on Steam sometimes just looking for things to play. So a lot of these games that people are refunding, like if you saw some of the stuff that's out there, you wouldn't bother with a refund. Like, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Like, some of the games that I play, it's like, man, I've played some crap shows. So this little thing, not a problem. I don't care. Yeah. I'm fine. He floated off into space when I was trying to go through the door. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
I'm used to that. That's half expected that to happen.
If it didn't, I'd been disappointed.
But that's the problem with internet culture right now. Everything is either the best thing ever or it's trash. And if it's not the best thing ever, I want my money back, is the attitude. And
the worst is when someone hears online, this is the worst thing ever, and they play the game and they have just a little bit of a problem with it. All of a sudden, they were right. Worst game ever. I hate it. I could have easily been that guy. I'm going to go back to Cyberpunk. That's what I do. I could have easily been that guy, played that game, and say the first time it took a little too long to load, I could have been like, fuck this game. This game sucks. They're all right. No, I didn't, because I am an individual with my own mind, and I played it and had a good time. Again, thankfully, I did not have a PS4.
Right.
But yeah, the internet machine is I think it's getting... I mean, it's always been bad, don't get me wrong, fandoms. And that's what this is, too. This is just another fandom. Fandoms have always been bad, but I really, really think that it's getting worse. It's either crap and you're stupid for liking it, or it's amazing and you're stupid for hating it. Yeah. There just seems to be no in between.
No gray area.
Now, to be fair, both groups are loud as fuck, so
yeah,
it's
Yeah. You don't have to ask people to say it again for the people in the back. Like, they heard it.
Right. Yeah. We heard you. You're vegan. We got it.
You saying it's getting worse, I think I agree. But I also think it goes through, like, waves. Like, it gets worse, and then it gets better, and then it gets worse, and then it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't think we've reached the crest of this wave yet. I think it's still going to keep getting worse for quite a while before it gets better.
Gross.
I feel like the more AAA titles that come out in quick succession, the higher the wave goes. And then whenever we have that lull of like 2 or 3 years when nothing big comes out, that's when it's on the decline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
definitely it within the gamer community.
Really don't hear the loud groups about indie games unless they're great.
Yeah, if a big publication gets a hold of it and says, this is an amazing game, go play it. The same thing happens with the movie industry when you have all the blockbuster titles coming out back to back to back, and then you have a great big lull where nothing's coming out. All of a sudden people are like, oh, okay, I'm willing to watch this okay movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I think that there was a few things like that, like especially like post-pandemic, and like, you know, shit came out and I was like, man, this is the best thing in the world. And then I went back and watched it. I was like, oh, it leaves a little to be desired, but it's fun still, I guess. You mind if I switch it up a little bit? Maybe to move it over to something else, because I'm just now kind of seeing this.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I've been hearing about it. So, you know, I've been kind of obsessed with Star Trek lately because my spawn has been obsessed with Star Trek. So, you know, I've been refinding my obsession.
Yeah, even
been
getting
playing
into the MMO, right?
Right. That's the whole reason why I really haven't been playing Zelda 2, is I literally had to leave the game to come on the podcast. My character I'm playing right now is the granddaughter of Montgomery Scott, and she just got her Atlas dreadnought. So, good times. But has anyone seen Lower Decks? Lower Decks is a cartoon based in the Star Trek world, which is funny, but it's canon.
Got it.
And I'll tell you how canon it is. The live action versions are going to be in Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
The two characters, Boimler and I forgot her name. And see, I'm never great at names. I only remembered Boimler because it's a weird fucking name.
That is a weird name.
Mariner. That's it. Boimler and Mariner. They are main characters, but this happens in Next Generation time, the Lower Decks, because, you know, they run into Riker, they run into Worf, you know, they run into these guys, right? Strange New Worlds is based in the Pike era. So Boimler and Mariner being in it, especially as live action characters, is very confusing, but I don't care. Jack Quaid is playing Boimler. You don't know who Jack Quaid is. He's the main character from The Boys. The guy that got his girlfriend's arms ripped off right in the beginning. And the other one is Tawny Newsome, which I know I've seen her in stuff, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this. But then again, I'm also really excited to see Strange New Worlds. That's a great... If you liked Star Trek at any point in your life, this recaptures... Strange New Worlds recaptures that nostalgia and that feeling of Trek. Which, again, I'm sure I've talked about Strange New Worlds on here plenty of times.
How do you feel about it as an entry point into Star Trek?
I think that it would be fine. They do some things where it's like a little callback to stuff. Jim Kirk shows up at some point, and, you know, they kind of frame it in a way where he's a big reveal. And when I say frame it, I mean, like, cinematography wise, you know, the camera zooms in and it's like, and if you don't know, you don't know. You're like, oh, I don't get it. But
well,
you can also
even
take
if you're
it as,
not a Star Trek fan, you've probably heard that name before. You probably realize that name's a big deal.
Yeah, probably.
One would hope. But yeah, so I think it would be fine. Again, there are some small callbacks. I think that they retell a story that is fun and interesting that you don't need to know what happened before. I will say that it is also a little spin-off from Discovery, but you don't need to know anything about Discovery to have fun with this either.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I must be a little behind because I'm still watching Next Generation.
No, there is never a bad time to watch the Next Generation. I will say that just right now. Actually, The Spawn. That's where he's at right now. He's in the Next Generation. We sat down, watched the first 6 original series. I think I said that, but now he's moved on to the Next Generation. He was emotionally crushed by the Data's Daughter episode, but he stuck with it and watched some of the other ones. He doesn't want to watch Data's trial quite yet, but he's having a good time with it, with all the silliness. I can't wait for him to get to the part where the doctor has sex with a ghost. That's good times.
Haven't we all?
And if I had a nickel.
I'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, if anybody wants to talk about the silliness of Next Generation, you've never watched the original series. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because that original series is silly as shit.
The definition of camp.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. I'm really excited.
All right, we have other things to talk about, and I just don't know how to segue. So,
who needs a segue?
Blizzard has announced the death of PvE for Overwatch 2. And let me tell you, as a huge Overwatch fan, this news disappoints me greatly. It was one of the big selling points of going from Overwatch to Overwatch 2. One of the big things that was going to make this not just like an update to Overwatch 1. And it's just straight up canceled. They straight up canceled the PvE hero missions. They said that they are going to release little co-op missions throughout the seasons. But it's... I don't even have words for how disappointed I am in the fact... I mean, like, Blizzard almost lost me so many times since the release of Overwatch, with so many things that they've done, and so many course corrections have, like, gotten me back and gone, like, okay, I still love this game. You seem to be doing the right thing here. This is a course correction. Okay, I'm back on board. And then they make this announcement, and it's difficult to continue to be an Overwatch fan. I will say I did read a little bit of the announcement to where they were saying they were looking at everything they still needed to get done in order to make the hero missions everything that they promised it to be, and the amount of time they had left to do it. And they just said, if we tried to do this, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be what we promised it was going to be. So I'd rather them not release garbage, right? I think I've said that multiple times on the podcast before. If you have to push your release. I'd rather play the good game that you release later than the garbage you rush out the door. But to cancel it entirely, if you got to push it. But to cancel it entirely is just a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I was waiting for this topic because I have a rant. Because this is them killing Battleborn twice now. Because when Overwatch first came out, Battleborn came out, which was made by Gearbox, the people who made Borderlands. They had original Borderlands voice actors in it, and it was more of the PvE based, like more story with the heroes. And it also had PvP, which was objective. It was exactly like Overwatch. And people were just like, oh, Overwatch is Blizzard and it's better, so we're gonna play this. And eventually, Battleborn reached the point where, because it was online only, they just closed the servers. But then with this Overwatch PvE, they're talking about talent trees. Battleborn had that. They're talking about hero progression. Battleborn had that. And it's just like, why kill a game twice? It's like, it's just adding salt to the wound. And I'm gonna be entirely honest, I'll use my guild decree on this.
Oh shit!
Battleborn was better than the first Overwatch.
Oh no, did you hurt? Did you?
I would have I would have had
Suck
something
it,
to say.
Master Ric.
I would have had something to say about that because I played Battleborn for 3 months straight, and we're talking straight, like didn't play any other game. And then I played Overwatch for a weekend and made the switch. So I would have had something to say.
You switched from a obviously superior game to a less superior game.
I did. Because I can't say anything about it. It's a guild decree. That superior game.
What a loser.
I will confess, Overwatch did the PvP better, but Battleborn as a game was more fun because of the PvE, the silly characters, and everything else.
Honestly, you sold me right there. I'm sold. You're right. I don't even need a guild decree then to agree with you.
I did really enjoy the characters in Battleborn, especially my clockwork cane wielding gentleman friend.
I loved him. I loved Isaac, the big mech, skull mech.
Mm-hmm.
I played that game so much. I was heartbroken when I saw that it was just gone.
Yeah. Especially after paying full price at release.
Yeah, that too.
I even got the special edition. I've got the little figurine of the dude with the Gatling gun up on my shelf.
Oh, Montana?
Mm-hmm.
I still listen to quotes from those characters as, like, ideas for D&D characters.
Nice.
That had a lot of personality, but that's Gearbox for you.
Yeah.
So Killer Christmas Tree.
Yes.
You have a lot of feelings about that, right? The Battleborn. You have emotions. You feel strongly about it, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else that you feel strongly about.
Oh?
The D&D books.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's how you segue, Rick. That's how you segue.
This is why I keep you around, Guildmaster Bear.
For my one segue a year.
It's not great.
No, I agree.
Hold on. Before we get into the rant of why this is terrible and a bad thing, can I say why this isn't going to matter at all?
Oh, I know why to me, but go ahead.
I feel like people have already made up their mind about D&D. Like,
yes.
I don't think there is a large amount of players where this is the off-ramp for them. I don't see this being the point where they're leaving. You have the die-hard D&D fans who, even through all the negative things they've done, they're still sticking to their guns. They're still sticking with D&D. They're going to pay $10 more for a book. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. And then you have everybody else that already left for some other reason who's just looking at the $10 price hike and going, see, this is what I was talking about. And they weren't going to buy that book anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, this is free money for Wizards. And I think they probably got that figured out too. Because anybody who was going to buy that book is still going to buy that book at $10. There's nobody who's not buying that book because it's $10 more.
I would like to think that there are some people who walked away. Like, I would like to think that they went through all of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast was doing, and they were finally like, look, okay, as long as they don't do anything else stupid, I'm going to stick with them. And then they did this, and they're like, yeah, well, shit. I'm out.
There has to be a handful, right? There has to be a handful, but I don't think it's a large amount. I think the more amount of money that Wizards is going to make from that $10 price hike is going to more than make up for the customers they'd lost from it.
This is what I think, though. I think that there are people who have already made up their minds about D&D. But I also think that if D&D would have done something right, they could have won them back.
Yeah, if it wasn't bad
possibly,
idea after bad idea.
Yeah, they definitely could have won me back if they would have done something fucking right. But then it's like they shot themselves in the foot, shot themselves in the foot, shot themselves in the foot again.
Hired the Pinkertons to shoot them in the foot.
Right. And I'm like, no, I guess I'm out. I guess I'm out for good. And then it's like, well, maybe. And then they do that. It's like, no, okay, no, yeah, you convinced me that I'm out for a good reason. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's like they give you just enough time to have that, well, maybe, and then they do something else stupid.
You are absolutely right. That is exactly what's going on. Oh, shit. Oh no, that's
And-
horrifying.
That's
I
so
will-
true that like I was sold on not buying any more books, right? And then they announced all the quarter 4 books, and like I was really on the fence for that Fandelver book. I was like, my gaming group that I have right now, I started them on Lost Mines of Fandelver. This Phandalin adventure could be a way to kind of bring it back to where it all started with my current gaming group. I might buy this. And then they announced the price hike and was like, well, you just made that decision a whole lot easier for him.
Yeah, I have a friend who was ranting about it because he said that the shop he goes to orders 20% off for pre-ordering books, which is now nullified by the additional cost.
Yeah.
So all the money he was going to save is now just gone.
Ugh. Well, I mean, we can't tell them how to run their company.
Fucking Hasbro, man.
Fucking Hasbro. They've done some good things. They've done some good things with D&D. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about, and I'm going to go ahead and blame the pandemic on this, because why not? I don't know what it is about the pandemic where these billionaires have made record profits, but yet they still want to whine that they are losing money. And it's like, you made record profits. You are losing money right now because you made so much money during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You're not losing money. You're going back to the way things were.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to make up for it by raising prices. Meanwhile, us normal guys aren't getting paid anymore than we were before, and you're still expecting us to buy your more expensive books. Yeah. No, thanks.
And then you turn around and just blame it on inflation. They literally blamed it on inflation. And it's like, you realize over the past 8 months, inflation has gone down, right?
Yep.
Hey, there's plenty of other TTRPGs out there.
There really
that
are.
aren't-
And even if it's a D&D thing that you love, there are plenty of games out there that are just like D&D that aren't D&D.
Yep.
Make the switch.
The new
And
Cobalt
they
Press
aren't-
game is based off of the same base rule set. It's that same OGL rule set that Cobalt Press, they just started their Kickstarter for their new game.
And these other systems aren't hiking the price of their books.
Right. Exactly. Yep. And you know what? And if this does anything, maybe this should convince you to go out and try an indie game. Try some small developer that's selling their book for $20. You never fucking know. It may be something great. The next little indie developer we could, that we would find could be the next big thing, charging $70 for their books in a horrible time to be doing it.
If you're an indie developer who wants to charge $70 for your books in 5 years, let us know. We'll hook you up.
Get me on your board right now. Right now.
You'll be pushed on every Casters Guild episode. But Barry, who's not hiking their prices right now?
Me?
GeekyClean.com. The handmade monthly dice set Bath Bomb subscription box is the ultimate indulgence for dice enthusiasts and bath lovers alike. Every month, subscribers receive a curated handmade dice bath bomb, each with its own unique scent, color, and set of dice. These bath bombs are carefully crafted with high-quality ingredients, providing a relaxing and exciting soak every time.
The colors and scents change each month, so subscribers never know what to expect. From vibrant hues to calming shades, and from sweet and floral fragrances to spicy and invigorating scents, the dice bombs change every month. And of course, the highlight of the subscription box is the different sets of dice. Each month, subscribers receive a new set of dice ready for their next adventure.
But there's a lot of options if you don't want to play D&D at $70 a book anymore. There's Kobold Press's new Black Flag project, I believe they called it. There's an actual name for the game now on the Kickstarter that I'm not going to look up right now. There's Critical Role's 2 new game systems. There's still Pathfinder, still exists. Plenty of people are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Speaking of Critical Role, You see that they're doing the Legend of Zelda game?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. The nice little Tears of the Kingdom one-shot.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how that rolls.
That will go live the day after this episode is released.
Nice. God, I wish we could do like a watch party or something.
Maybe
we can't because it's like 2 a.m. when it comes on.
Oh, is it? Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't look at the times, but
it starts at like 7 or 8 Pacific.
okay. All right.
So
What's that in Central and Eastern?
Man, I can get the coffee ready if...
Yeah, that's like 9 p.m. Central, so that'd be like 10 p.m. Eastern. Oof.
Now, I mean, we could probably catch a replay, or if someone has like Twitch or something like that, who is subscribed to their Critical Role, we could watch it there.
Watch it as a VOD.
Yeah.
Afterwards, yeah, maybe we'll schedule watching a VOD of that. Because I mean, fucking Mercer is already the voice of Ganon in that game, which he does a fantastic job. I gotta say.
Sure.
When doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd be a lot more surprised if you say, yeah, he voices Ganon in that game and he sucks. Worst Ganon.
I do think it's funny, though, as I've been more acquainted with Critical Role, the more I hear that man's voice popping up and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude's getting
It's
work.
crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, he's been getting work for a while.
That's true.
But I think that Critical Role, if they wanted to keep doing their voice acting as a main gig, Critical Role has been a great audition tape for all of them.
That's too true.
Except for maybe Sam. But Sam still gets some high-profile work, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Sam said himself, the only voice he can do is his own. He said it himself.
But if that's the voice you're looking for,
right?
Can nobody do it better than he can?
But he's done the voice of Donatello, and he's done the voice of that anime video game lawyer guy. Phoenix, Ace Phoenix, or Phoenix, right?
Phoenix Wright.
Is it Phoenix Wright?
For a second there, I thought you were doing a bit. Like, I thought you knew the name, and you were just kind of like...
What makes you think on this God's green earth that I would remember a fucking name when I need to? Sam Riegel's lucky I remembered his name right there, okay?
I don't know, man. It's hard to tell when you're not doing a bit.
That's fair. My whole life's a bit. Womp womp.
I was just staying quiet because I could picture what you were talking about, but I could not think of the name either.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was rough. It hurt my head trying to think about it.
Oh my god, once again, no segue. But, like, it just popped into my head. I have big news. If you are going to Gen Con this year...
I'm not. Okay.
I will be at Gen Con as one of the assistant game masters for True Dungeon.
Yeah, man. You... Wait! Someone is getting Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off here pretty soon.
Oh,
and
snap.
Indianapolis is only like 2 or 3. I could make that in a day trip. I could just drive down there at 9 in the morning, hang out for a day, come back. Oh, shit.
Now, to be fair, I will be working
saucy.
8-hour shifts every day for that convention.
Yeah, but you'll get me in, right?
No.
But you'll get me in, right?
No, I am a volunteer. This is my first time volunteering. No, I will not.
What if he uses his guild decree to say that you're gonna get him in?
Guild decree!
We'll see how well that works with the people who don't listen to the podcast.
I don't want to ruin the sanctity of our guild decree when he can't get me in. I would hate if Rick was the one that totally destroyed the integrity of the guild decree.
I would just have to pull money out of my own pocket and pay for his True Dungeon entrance. And be like, it was a guild decree.
Let the man in, Christ.
But yeah, I'll have more information about like which, because there are several different games that they run. You know, there's like the beginner one and like the advanced one, and I'll post something in our Discord about which ones I'll be assistant game master for. If you want to come see me and play in one of the games where I'll help you create your character and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited. If you don't know what True Dungeon is, first of all, you should. Second of all, it's like a live D&D experience. You get to actually like enter the dungeon. There's a bunch of actors who play all the NPCs. It's really hard to describe unless you've actually done it yourself. I've done it myself. It's a great time. And while I am working 8-hour shifts, I know I'm working like most of my shifts are starting at like 3 p.m., I think. I'm getting some of like the later shifts. So in more towards the morning when I actually wake up from working my late ass shift, I'll be hanging out at the con doing other stuff. So come see me at Gen Con.
Oh yeah, well you're getting a room there, right?
Yeah, they're paying for my room and my con entry and stuff like that. So
man, a motherfucker might
they got
fuck around and stay in your room.
They got me staying in a room with 3 other dudes.
Well, motherfucker that I don't know better learn how to cuddle.
We are gonna have to figure that out because there's 3 beds in the room. I looked it up. There's 2 beds and then a pull-out sofa, and there's 4 guys staying in that room. So somebody's gonna be getting close.
Yeah. No. There's I would be shocked if one of them or more didn't try to get someone else to stay in the room with them.
Yeah.
Shocked, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a day trip for me. That's not that bad of a drive, I don't think.
And Gen Con's a great convention.
It really is. It really is. It might even be worth the drive to just go down there, maybe try to get in a True Dungeon and buy the Critical Role book. That will inevitably be sold out by the time I get there.
You never know.
I don't know. I could just be telling lies to myself right now. Oh, 2 hours. It's a 2-hour drive. It's a 2-hour drive.
Oh, that's too easy.
God damn it.
That's too easy.
I've driven further to go see my dad.
Yeah, that's too easy.
If I woke up at 9, I could be there before noon. If I left it, if I got there at noon, stay till 8 at night, that's a day. And I can still get home and go to bed.
Yep.
Go.
I think basically what you're hearing right now is that both guild masters will be at Gen Con this year. Come and see us.
Son of a bitch.
We'll let you know.
I'm getting more money now. Damn it.
We'll let you know in the guild caravan in our Discord.
Oh yeah. If I can get more than one person to go with me to help pay for stuff, then great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get a hold of me. August 3rd. Oh. And the Spawn should still be out of school too. Oh yes. Anyways. How are things? How about this? Before we get too far into this, I'm going to flip over to another weird segue, which, like I said, I've already used my one segue a year. I don't have people writing for me or anything like that.
This is the missing segue episode.
But speaking of people who are doing writing for people, how about that writer's strike, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How about that writer's strike that is slowly turning into an actor's strike?
Yeah.
Once again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's these billionaires who want to keep making these record profits every fucking year. Like, somebody slap these motherfuckers with a little bit of reality and pay your fucking people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do want to point out that one of the big things that they asked for, that they completely shut down negotiations for, is they don't want them using AI. They specifically put that in their demands, that they don't want the companies using AI to do any of the writing for them, and they completely shut that out, would not even negotiate that.
I argue that AI is plagiarism no matter how you use it.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you.
Because the way AI works is, first of all, it's not actually intelligence. They're creating these things. You feed a bunch of information into AI. into these algorithms. They rearrange it in an intelligent way and then spit it the fuck back out. So anything that you create using AI is just plagiarizing previous works anyway.
And why would you want to use AI to write with the unhinged stuff people are feeding into these things? Like, just to purposely make it say some dumb crap to someone else?
Because you don't have to pay AI. That's what it comes down to. You buy the bot one time, and then you never have to pay AI again. And while you don't have to have a full writing staff, you can have one or two people just kind of proofreading whatever pops out of that AI. And then you got a new hit show that you didn't have to pay a bunch of writers for. Congratulations, you're a plagiarist.
Yep. I was kind of thinking that they would probably use AI to do like the whole script, and then they would just have someone proofread it, make adjustments and shit like that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they didn't just get a bunch of the scripts that they've already had written, just throw them into the algorithm machine, and just be like, based off of all this, what would happen next?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Or just feed them a successful script and just be like, make this except in different setting.
Yep.
It's sad that we had such high hopes for what AI would be, and it's literally just threatening jobs and stealing content.
Yep. I think I posted something on my Facebook that pretty much summed it up for me. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Humans doing the hard jobs on minimum wage while robots write poetry and paint is not the future I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be from at Carl E. Marks on Twitter. So KarleMarks. That's me giving credit to someone who wrote something.
Unheard of.
Unheard of. Figured I may want to do that while referencing this, because if I didn't... Yeah. But now, the actors are looking to get in on this, and you know what? Good for them. I'm glad that they are supporting the writers like they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because honestly, without that support, I don't think they would get anywhere. Sadly.
Well, I think that they would get somewhere, but they wouldn't get where they wanted.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it, yeah.
Yeah. They would get some concessions, I guarantee it, but they wouldn't get the ones they needed. They would probably just count it as a victory with dick fingers.
Right.
So yeah, so here, again, just full support from, I think I can speak for the guild when I say, full support and love to everybody out there on the picket line. Do the work, and I don't give a fuck if I don't ever get another TV show again. Fucking break them if you have to. I don't care. Just stick with it and get what you deserve.
I said this last episode too, but shout out to Adam Conover, because without him I wouldn't know anything about what's going on. He's made this strike very visible to people like me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you, Adam Conover.
Yep. On a lighter note, but first off, I don't know if you can tell, but the guild train is going by right now, and I'm trying to talk through it so you guys can hear it. Hugh Jackman is wearing his Wolverine beard again.
Oh?
As they are starting to film Deadpool 3 in London.
Oh, finally.
Yep. They must have already had that script done.
Yeah, probably.
Also, tonight, airing probably right now as we are speaking, is the last episode of Flash. 10 years that show's been on. 10 years
Holy
that show's
crap.
been on. Yeah.
That's
And
really impressive
arguably,
for a superhero show. That's really impressive for any show, honestly, but
Yeah.
a superhero show especially.
Yep. So yeah, I guess Supergirl and Green Arrow are also going to be on it. It'll be the last time that they're all on the same show together, since Supergirl and Green Arrow are, no more. Is there even an Arrowverse anymore? I think Flash is the last one, because Legends of Tomorrow is done. Mm-hmm. Supergirl's done, which is arguably the Arrowverse, even though it's not. Flash.
Such a weird distinction to make, to be like, nope, that's not Arrowverse.
Well, it started out on another channel, so it technically wasn't. Yeah, I think everybody watching Supergirl originally was like, "Why is this on this channel and not on the CW?" Wait, is it the CW now? Is it called the CW?
The CW is where
Yeah,
Arrow and Flash and everything was.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Now what's JD's brother gonna do? It's the only work he was doing after Scrubs.
He'll get something. He'll land on his feet. He always does.
Oh, man. And, I mean, I'm just kind of going through our list of topics to cover here. And we are talking about comic books. So why don't we talk about Spider-Man 2?
We got a gameplay trailer. Gameplay reveal, they called it.
Gameplay reveal.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Uh-huh. Tell me how you're feeling.
So there's the bonus of I'll stand by anything that has Miles in it. The new movie coming out looks fucking amazing. I like the way that Sony has handled Miles and Spider-Man in general in the games so far. All the games have been great that have been coming out of Insomniac. I am, as a person, just done with angry black suit Peter Parker in general. Like, I understand... Well, I don't even know if I understand that. So, I guess it has to happen. Like, you have to have angry Peter in the black suit in order to transition into Venom. But I don't even think you have to do that anymore. I think Venom is an established enough character that you don't have to piggyback him off of Peter Parker's emo phase anymore.
I'll say this. Even reading the comics was never even that bad. Like him going full emo rage hound. He didn't do that in the comics. I mean, he got a little angry and he didn't know his own strength. That's about it. I mean, I don't know why the movies are ramping it up as much as they are.
Right.
Or as much as Spider-Man 3 did. Because that was really the only... Oh, I mean, I guess the cartoon did like an angry Spider-Man kind of thing.
The cartoons did it. Any video game that has ever covered it has done it.
Oh, I guess I haven't really played that many video games with Venom in it.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man did it. The video game.
Gotcha.
That's kind of why I'm done with it. Like, I've seen it so many times, and like you said, Spider-Man 3 was the worst offender.
Well, here's a question. And I'll ask both of you. If you had to choose which one you had to deal with, Uncle Ben dying or angry Peter Parker, which would it be?
That's not even a question. Uncle Ben dying every time.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Every time. Every time.
Wow! Wow!
Every time.
I mean, yeah. Although we did get Dancing Toby from Angry Spider-Man.
He'll rub dirt in your eye.
We did.
But, like, I mean, I like that the Sony Marvel Tom Holland Spider-Man just kind of, like, brushed right over that. They still had to have the death scene with Aunt May, which is kind of like their replacement for the Uncle Ben scene. So while I can give them credit for skipping over it, at the same time, they still did it in a way. But, like, I would rather have a scene where Uncle Ben dies in every Spider-Man movie, video game, and comic from here until the end of time than see angry black suit Spider-Man one more time.
I don't know why I think that's so funny.
In every comic.
Every single one. Like I mean, like, if there was that they had a run of comics, like they did a Last Time on Spider-Man at, like, and they had a few panels dedicated in every issue. I'd rather see that than have black suit Spider-Man be angry and emo one more time.
Just a panel of Spider-Man flirting with MJ, and then it just cuts to flashback of Uncle Ben dying.
Yep.
Well, instead of angry Peter, what about angry Miles?
As much as I don't like that idea, because there's so many bad places that could go. I don't think I'm the person to speak on this, but I don't think we need to see Disney Marvel try to do angry black man.
Yeah, no,
Miles.
you're right.
Like,
that could definitely go places that I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, if it was done correctly, I'd rather see that as something new. I still wouldn't like it. It's still like, really, do we need the angry black suit? But I'd rather see it as something different than have them have Peter Parker go through it again.
Has Miles ever been?
I don't think he's ever had a symbiote. I know Gwen has. Like, with Gwen, it was a big deal. I think there was a whole thing where a symbiote tried to attach itself to Miles, but due to the electricity powers that he has, I think he was able to stop it from happening.
Oh, no, this is what happened.
Okay.
He's never been infected with the Venom symbiote, but he has been infected with the Carnage symbiote.
Okay.
Which is horrifying.
Yeah, which is even worse.
So Carnage captured him, placed a part of his symbiote onto Miles to control him, but it didn't last very long because the Venom Blast got rid of it.
Yeah, I knew it. I thought that was like a whole thing where like he had those electricity powers got him the fuck out of it, which is a whole lot better than a church bell. Fuck.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s, was it? Leave him alone.
When Spider-Man 3 did it again, it wasn't the 80s anymore.
Oh, fair. You're right.
Yeah, but that scene with all the metal poles, that like sparked the Gen Z metal pole falling humor. Just the noise meme that's been going around.
Yeah, because we needed that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Fuck me.
But I will say I am excited about Carnage, though. Or Kraven.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that they introduced him pretty good. If I have to say, I came up with a great way to introduce Kraven way back in the Spider-Man 2 days. It was my prediction for Spider-Man 3, but I got, royally fucked on that one. But this is good too, though.
Yeah.
I never even thought about him just coming to New York and being like, oh, I'm not just hunting Spider-Man. I'm hunting all y'all. All of you superheroes, all of you supervillains that are Spider-Man based. Which, they're all animals. They're all based around animals. Have we ever thought about that before? All of Spider-Man's villains are all animal based.
Yeah.
Except for the Green Goblin, which is arguable that he's actually...
Sandman?
That he's actually just a bunch of ants. That's not sand.
It's just Ant-Man, the name. It was already taken.
Right. And Man-Ant was just weird. That's just an uncle.
No, but honestly, everything else from that trailer, like, I have no other complaints. Obviously, the complaint for Angry Black Suit Spider-Man is strong enough for me to go off on a rant about it. But the gameplay looks good. Insomniac hasn't let me down yet. Switching back and forth between Miles and Peter looks good. The wingsuit that Miles has, killer.
Here's my prediction. They don't do a church bell. Miles is the one that gets it off of Peter.
I hope so. That'd be good shit.
Yes, that's perfect, actually. If Insomniac doesn't do that, they missed a golden opportunity, I think. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Use that Venom Blast or something.
My question is, when are we gonna get Spiders-Man? The Spider-Man that was just a crap ton of spiders that were in the shape of a person.
There's no way he doesn't make it into the Spider-Verse trilogy.
Right.
He's gonna be in it.
That's my guess too. Yeah.
If not in this next movie, then the next one after that, because it's gonna be a trilogy. There's no way we don't get him.
Everyone's nightmare. You take off Spider-Man's mask to kiss him, and it's just a crap ton of spiders.
Oh my god. They changed his name to Trauma Man.
It's like those that set of panels that went around for the internet for a while, where it was like there was a guy robbing a bank, and he was like, "Okay, they're coming," and the robber was like, "What's coming?" He's like, "The army of spiders. I've summoned them," and the guy just gives up and stops robbing the place, and somebody asks Peter, he's like, "Can you even control spiders?" He's like, "No," but he doesn't know that.
Oh man, that classic Spider-Man move too. Classic Spider-Man move.
But would be a good deterrent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't take the chance. I'd be like, "Yep, you're right. I'm done."
Go turn myself in, I guess. There's no spiders in prison, right?
I'll walk myself. It's fine.
I have given up the life of crime. You scared me straight.
I have a degree now. I don't know how this happened.
You just improved my credit score.
Oh, man. But I guess speaking of video games, this is something I've been kind of seeing floating around for a little bit now, but the hype is starting to pick back up for it. Fable.
I hadn't heard anything. Please continue.
Yeah. Apparently it's coming back. It's coming back. I believe that, well, the original company folded, and Xbox, I don't know who they gave it to, but they are developing it. Oh, Playground Games is who's developing it. And they've done something else. But anyways, they're taking their sweet time on it, which, good. I don't think that there is any release date or anything, and there's barely a trailer for it, which I saw some months ago.
Is it a remake or is it a new one?
Oh, that's a good question. Either
way, they better take their time with it, because the potential for it to be... I mean, like, it kind of started the whole video game where your choices matter trend.
Mm-hmm.
And if they really take their time with it and put a lot of work into it, they could do something really cool with it, even cooler than they did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I just saw that they are talking about a 2024 release.
Okay. If they've been working on it for a while, then that's fine.
Right.
I was going to say, that's pretty soon.
Yep.
Barely half a year away.
So yeah, plans for the game were revealed in 2020. That's... Okay, I was watching a video, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about Playground Games. The engine that they're using for this is the same engine used in Forza Motorsport.
Okay.
Right? So they're using Forza Motorsport, the Forza Motorsport game engine, which I don't know what the name of that engine is, but they're using that. There were some rumors that they were going to go ahead and just go to the new Unreal Engine, but those rumors are unfounded. They are not doing that as of right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's weird, but, whatever. I'm not a game developer. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well that engine's going to lend itself to fantasy RPG, but if you can figure out how to do it, more power to you.
Okay, hold on. Who are they talking to? Aaron... Okay, I'm on GamesRadar.com reading this article. I'll tell you who wrote it here in a second. But they were talking to Aaron Greenberg, general manager of Xbox Games Marketing at Microsoft. Quote, to put the Fable franchise and give it a completely fresh start in the hands of one of the greatest game developers in the world, and also right there in England with Playground Games, is sort of a dream come true. We're letting them get a fresh start with the franchise, and really you can see it's still got the classic British humor that's really true to the franchise. It's obviously going to be a role-playing game. We've got the best folks in the industry working on it. Today was just the reveal of the game, and we're excited to officially say Fable's coming, and we'll share more when we're ready. That article written by Rachel Weber on Games Radar. Yeah, so new. It's a fresh start. They are rebooting the franchise.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not against that.
I don't know enough about Forza to really say one way or the other what the game engine looks like, but I mean, I know it's popular, so it has to be at least decent.
I mean, it's a beautiful game, but it's, a racing game. Like,
so the main character's going to be fast.
I will say Forza leans more toward the simulation racer than arcade style racer. So I mean, their physics engine's probably pretty good. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, like you just said, Baron. You're not a game developer.
Right,
I'm not a game developer.
Right.
Fable, but you're Lightning McQueen.
I'm in. Sign me up. Ka-chow.
I'm surprised they never did anything like that. Like, did something with the Cars franchise where they just made it a racing game. It would just kind of... Like, I mean, I think they did, but it was lame. But, I mean, what if they really put their whole developussies into that thing? You know what I mean? And fucking developed it to like a Forza Motorsport kind of level, and it was unironically a good racing game. But you're Lightning McQueen or Tow Mater or something like that.
Give them abilities like Mater can hook whoever's in front of you.
I don't think anyone would hand them the budget to do so. I think that's what it comes down to. And we're talking about good games are good developers plus time and a decent budget. The thing about these movie games is they got to be released at least somewhat close to the release of the movie. So I don't know. I'd struggle to think of a single good game that was a movie tie-in. Ghostbusters?
Good movie game.
So I mean, like there's now been good game movies.
Yeah.
But you're right. I can't, right off the top of my head, I can't think of any good.
I think the
game adaptations.
Ghostbusters game for the PS4 was pretty good. Like, it wasn't like amazing, but it was pretty good. But it also came out how many decades after the movie actually did. So they had plenty of time to develop it.
You ready? I have from Slash Film the 15 best video game adaptations of movies.
Okay. Let's tear this list apart. Let's do it.
Number 15, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991 for Game Boy. 1991 for Game Boy.
Bullshit. No, but that does remind me, there was a game that was RoboCop versus Terminator for the Sega Genesis that wasn't half bad.
Oh, okay. You ready for 14?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear anybody shit about this one either. Tron, 1982 arcade game.
Yeah?
That was fun.
I'll take it.
I remember playing that in that dark arcade with the fun carpet and the flashing lights in Westland Mall, Aladdin's arcade. I didn't see Aladdin ever. I don't know how he owned it. He must have got all the money from the Cave of Wonders and paid for it himself. Number 13, The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, 2003 for PlayStation 2.
I don't know about that one. There was one. I don't know what it was called, but it was like Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 was amazing.
Yes.
It was fucking amazing.
There was a Lord of the Rings game that was like that game. Like it was the same style of gameplay where you like picked your unit and stuff like that. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, wow. I'll have to look for that.
There was a time when a friend of mine who I don't really talk to anymore, but like the first time we met, I went over to his house and there was no greeting, there was no nothing. He just handed me an Xbox controller and said, "We're playing this game. You're helping me get this achievement." And it was that game, and you had to play through the whole campaign, right, as the good guys from the Shire to Mount Doom. Then you had to play through the whole campaign as the bad guys from Mount Doom back to the Shire.
Wow.
And you had to kill 300 hobbits to get the last trophy that he needed. So in a day, that's what we did. We worked on killing 300 hobbits. Well, we played through both campaigns in order to get there and worked on killing 300 hobbits.
LOTR Conquest.
That's it. Yeah.
I just looked up LOTR game 300 Hobbit achievement.
Mm-hmm. I think the achievement was called Stupid Hobbitses, I believe. And
oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Byron, I want to ask you, because you said Battlefront 2, are you talking original Battlefront 2 or the new one?
Like PlayStation 2.
The original.
Battlefront.
Okay. The original. I played it on Xbox, but the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Yes, that game was amazing.
The new Battlefronts, I fucking hate.
Yeah.
I hate that they called them Battlefront. I hate it.
Yeah, I was expecting the originals and got what they released. I was not happy.
Yep.
It was a cash grab, full of microtransactions.
And I'll say this: these are direct movie to game translations. They aren't like LOTR Conquest.
Yeah.
It is literally,
I wouldn't count that as a movie game myself.
Right. Number 12, Ghostbusters, 1984, Commodore 64.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks great for a Commodore 64 game.
That game was not great. That game was not awesome. It was great.
So let's get
if you liked managing the Ghostbusters finances, I guess.
Yeah. Now we're to the first game that I actually think is actually a decent movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Super Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, 1994, Super Nintendo. I thought that was a decent translation.
Sure.
Whatever.
I didn't play it. I can't say anything about it. I didn't play it.
Yeah, same.
Gotcha. Number 10, Aladdin, 1993, Sega Genesis.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was it.
I enjoyed it.
Hard as balls. All those Disney games for around that area were, but yes, good game.
They could have really fucked up and made that Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get to play this one, but I wanted to. Number 9, Peter Jackson's King Kong, 2005, Xbox 360. I didn't play it, but it looked cool.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. I mean, like, if this is the bar, I mean, I get it. Like, listening to the rest of the list, I'm like, I see where the bar is. Okay.
Gotcha. I've heard good things about this one. Friday the 13th, 2017, PS4.
Friday the 13th could have been really big if not for Dead by Daylight.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially the exact same game, except you only get to play one killer.
But it did give us the that fun trend of the Katy Perry song.
Oh, the TikTok dance.
The California Girls thing, yeah.
Great. That's a great trend.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This is my favorite one. I don't even need to see the rest of it. This is my favorite one. And I played it on Xbox. I don't know why they keep anyways. The Warriors 2005.
Oh, Jesus.
That was such a good fucking game.
That was good. That was good.
And especially for it being 2005.
Yeah.
The graphics on that shit. Oh,
that was good.
It was so good.
A little too many QuickTime events, but pretty
okay.
good.
I can see that.
Pretty good.
Number 6. I don't even really want. It's the rest of the list is pointless to me. Number 6, RoboCop 3, 1991, Amiga 500.
I've never played it.
An Amiga 500.
I've never played anything on an Amiga, so.
This okay. All right. Number 5, Star Wars, 1983, arcade.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the arcade
not the
game
best.
was good.
Not the best, but I did enjoy it. It was. Yeah.
It was a
like
good
everything
game.
else back then. It was way too hard.
Yes.
Okay. Number 4, Spider-Man 2, 2004. That really started the whole thing.
That game was the shit.
Yeah.
It was the shit. Yeah.
That's the only Spider-Man game I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
You picked the right one.
Yeah, you should play the Insomniac ones though. Like they're good.
The Insomniac ones are pretty much just just Spider-Man 2, just better.
Yeah.
Better graphics, better handling. But yeah, it's the same game.
But no Bruce Campbell in the Insomniac games.
Number 3, Batman, 1989, Amiga 500.
What even is that?
I can't.
I mean, really?
I can't wait.
Looking at it, the graphics look pretty decent for 1989. So I'm maybe starting to question what the fuck an Amiga 500 is.
Something that got killed by the NES, I'll tell you that much.
Number 2, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphic adventure, 1989 for PC. It's a point-and-click game.
Okay. I never played it, but I do enjoy a good point-and-click game.
Yeah, you can't really fuck up a point-and-click. I don't want to say that.
You can.
You can, but...
Yes, you fucking can.
You gotta try, though. You gotta try. As long as you got a good artist, the point-and-click game is generally...
a good artist and a good writer, yeah.
Shit. Oh.
Question, how is the Omega 500 spelled?
Amiga. Amiga.
Okay, because I typed in Omega and it looks like an old-timey VR headset. I'm like, that can't be right.
No. Well, maybe it is. No, because back then it was just the Nintendo VR shit.
Yeah, Virtual Boy, all red.
It's a keyboard.
It's like a Commodore.
Yeah. All right, quit stalling. What's the next one on the list, Baron?
GoldenEye.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Number 1. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game revolutionized. Not only was it a good game, but it revolutionized the game industry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, without GoldenEye, you don't have any of those great big name. There's no Call of Duty. There's no Battlefield. There's no first person shooter.
There's no Battlefront.
Yeah.
Fuck you, GoldenEye. Ruining my Battlefront.
Damn Scottish. They ruined Scotland.
Oh man, yeah, wow, yeah, wow. As soon as I scrolled up and saw that, I was like, wow, okay.
Yep.
Shit.
You're right.
There we go.
You right.
I mean, the Warriors is always going to have a special place in my heart, and it'll probably be my favorite, but I cannot argue that GoldenEye is probably the best adaptation.
You know,
that's hard.
We have GoldenEye to thank for Ocarina of Time.
GoldenEye?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
After GoldenEye, the head of Zelda wanted to make the next Zelda game a first-person adventure, just like GoldenEye. And in the process of trying to develop that game, Ocarina of Time is what came out.
Huh. Okay. I'm glad it didn't stay exactly like a first-person shooter, but I can definitely see the influences.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Link with a gun.
Yeah, we got that. Link's crossbow training.
Oh, yeah?
Which, if you're one of the people who got that game for free with the Wii Zapper or paid 50 cents for it later on, it's actually not bad. All right, last thing I want to bring up for this episode, we got a trailer for Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai.
Did we?
Yeah. It's going to be on HBO Max. It's going to be an animated series.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It looks decent. I'm not going to get my hopes up too high, but it does look decent.
Okay. Well, okay. This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they're just trying to capitalize on the Grogu action.
Well, yeah. But as long as we got... I mean, it's going to have Sandra Oh, Randall Park, George Takei.
Wait, did you say Randall Park?
I did.
I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in.
James Hong. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. The cast looks good.
Is it really cashing in on Grogu when it's actually animated, though? And not just a puppet that they throw around?
Yes.
Well, I was actually waiting for the better argument. Well, isn't Grogu just cashing in on the cuteness of the Mogwai? I mean, but you can't use that now. I used it.
It's the snake eating its own tail at the end of the day. Like, it's
yes, it is. Agreed.
All right, with that, I think we're going to call this one an episode. KCT, if anybody liked what you had to say and they want to hear you somewhere else, is there any way they can do that?
Yeah, you can find me streaming occasionally on Twitch at Killer Christmas Tree GC, or I am on TikTok with my new account since my last one got banned for no reason. The Dice Opossum.
Damn shame that account got banned too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no warning. It was a fun time.
Also, you can join our Discord because KTC actually posts quite a bit in there, and we don't have to pay him at all. So come on.
Come get some of this Discord gold.
I mean, now that you bring it up.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters
Bye-bye.
Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Come join us on Discord. That's where most of the fun is. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bright lights!